What's up, everybody? Christian James here. Today's video, Pierre versus Trudeau. Let's go. Yesterday was the first back and forth between the soon-to-be Prime Minister and the current idiot Prime Minister. I'm not making anybody watch a 5-10 minute clip. We're going to watch two little clips. And you can see the stark difference between a guy who understands what's important, what people need, and a guy whose head is so far up his own ass. He's a unicycle. Well, that's not a good one. You understand what I'm saying? He's a hula hoop. That's better. Let's go.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48 and am what some people call mentally retarded.
There are 9 years of NDP Liberals. Taxes up, costs up, crimes up, time's up. And now he wants a 300% carbon tax hike, all the way up to 61 cents a litre. Why not let Canadians choose a common sense conservative government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime now?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
If the opposition had spent any time listening to Canadians over the summer, he would have heard that they need solutions. They need answers to the challenges they're facing. That's not what he's offering. Indeed, he doesn't care about Canadians. He just cares about himself and his own political interests. We're going to keep focused on doing the things that he refuses to do, whether it's him voting against dental care, whether it's him voting against child care, whether it's him voting against a national school food program. We're going to still deliver the things that matter to Canadians, like food in kids' bellies, childcare spaces, and supports for seniors to go to the dentist, many of them first time in years.
If you didn't make food so unaffordable for Canadians, they'd be able to buy their kids lunches. Look, I've looked into this. The idea of the national school program is going to be garbage food jammed in their face from large conglomerate food companies. It's not going to be ham sandwiches from the farm down the road with artisan bread. It's not that. It's going to be garbage food, similar to America. Garbage food. They have cheese that doesn't even melt. They serve children. You did this, Justin, but you think he's not listening. For my American counterparts, what the hell is a liter? It takes 4 liters, 3.98 liters make a gallon. So he wants to essentially get the carbon tax, which is a tax based on nothing, right? He's just taxing you for having to do the things you have to do. It's a tax you cannot avoid. I walk. I still have to pay the tax when I get to the grocery store, something like 7 times, because from the farm to the grocery store to my house is like 7 times it's been taxed with carbon tax. Anytime you move in a vehicle, there's carbon tax. That's how it works. Doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it is. If you're moving, it's carbon tax. You offer old people the chance to go to the dentist. The first time in years. A lot of old people have benefits when they retire. A lot of old people can essentially go to the dentist. There's local dentists that are really cheap. You taking the money from other people to help very, very few people, because a lot of seniors don't qualify. Like, why isn't it national dental care for everybody, just for seniors? So what about poor people who can't go to the dentist who aren't old? Fuck you guys, just pay for it. Okay. It's a joke. Trudeau doesn't understand anything. Trudeau needs to go.
I'm sorry. All I heard was blah, blah, blah. I'm a dirty tramp.
Children are hungrier than ever after 9 years of the NDP Liberals. In fact, 25% of them are not getting enough food, and we now know why. A carbon tax fraud has been perpetrated by this NDP Liberal Prime Minister, who kept secret Environment Canada documents that showed that the carbon tax was blowing a $25 billion hole in our economy. Our economy per capita is smaller today than it was 10 years ago, during which time the American economy has grown by 19%. Instead of a reckless plan to hike the tax to 61 cents a litre, why not allow Canadians to vote to axe the tax?
Carbon tax is to help the environment. So Environment Canada would oversee the tax and the usefulness of it. $25 billion. Our economy is worse now than it was when he was in charge, and America's grown by 20%.
Here's a news flash for the Conservative leader. Climate change costs money. And what would cost the most money to Canadians at all is his do-nothing climate plan. News flash. When the Toronto subway gets flooded, it costs money. News flash. When forest fires hit communities across this country, it costs Canadians money to rebuild. When you have droughts that hit farmers and agriculturists across this country, it costs money. What doesn't cost cost money is putting money in 8 out of 10 of the money of Canadians' pockets with the Canada Carbon Rebate to support their families and fight climate change.
So according to the guy who admits that he can't do math because he has the dyslexia for math, whatever that's called, mathlexia, whatever you want to call it, you're going to tax us, and then 8 out of 10 people are going to get more money back than you're taxing us, which makes no sense. So the 20%, let's just go with his numbers, people. Don't get mad at me. I'm just doing Justin math. All right, so 80% of people get more money back. So the other 20% don't, and how much are they paying? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Nobody would get a rebate for a tax where more people get the tax back than the tax negatively affects. A tax is for governments. It's not to give the money back to the people. I could just, hey, I'm going to take this from you and then I'm going to give it back to you. Why don't I just fucking keep it? Oh. It's always about the planet. Okay. Droughts happen. Floods happen. So, for example, when the Toronto subway floods, Yonge Street is built like this. Water runs downhill. I've lived in Toronto. I've been there 12 years ago, 13 years ago. The subway would flood. You need better systems for the water. I've been there where the water level is up to the street off, I think it was Queen and University in that area. Right? Definitely the one on University. But, again, okay, then let's look at the forest fires. In Quebec, one guy started them. In Alberta, one of the largest forest fires in the country was started by female firefighters. No facts, no figures, just run this goddamn mouth. But yet also, you fly everywhere for no fucking reason because no other country wants you at some dumbass event that you keep attending. Like when you went to India and embarrassed us wearing traditional Hindu garment or whatever it's called, but no one invited you.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just proved my point. His tax doesn't stop floods, fires, or droughts. All it does is create more poverty. This also from a high-flying, high-taxing, high-carbon hypocrite who flew 92,000 kilometers in a fuel-guzzling, tax-funded private jet while he taxes single moms and seniors for heating their homes. Now, carbon tax Carney wants him to put the tax back on home heating oil. Will he reject carbon tax Carney and instead allow Canadians to choose to axe the tax?
90,000 kilometers, it's 1.7 kilometers per mile. So it's almost half. So let's say he did 49,000 miles. But again, he's worried about the environment. He did 49,000 miles in 3 months on a private plane, but he's worried about the environment.
Remind all members, and to do so early, to be very mindful of their language that they use in referring to other members in this House. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative leader doesn't believe in climate change. And that's why he has a do-nothing plan to fight climate change. It would cost Canadians money and challenge the future we're building for our kids. Our plan with the Canada Carbon Rebate puts more dollars in 8 out of 10 Canadians' pockets right across the country, supports the middle class and people working hard to join it while delivering the kinds of investments that are going to grow our economy and reduce emissions at the same time. This is a responsible climate plan that fights climate change and supports Canadians. He wants to do nothing. He wants to hurt Canadians.
Well, Trudeau, we know your slogan. He wants to hurt Canadians. We have the boreal rainforest. It removes more carbon, like 5 times or 4 times the amount of carbon emissions the Canadians put in the air. Then, look, here's the chart. If we do no carbon emissions, if we have a net zero, it doesn't make a difference worldwide. China, India, those larger, poorer nations in the East, it's up to you guys to make a difference if you want to, help the environment. But at the end of the day, the idea that you're going to get Canada to, look, he wants to triple the size of our grid because he wants everybody to have electric car by like 2035 or something. So Canada's the second largest nation in the world. Most of it in the middle has nothing there. Where I live is like 45% of the population. That's one province, one large state for you Americans. So if almost half of everybody is where I am, and there's 9 more provinces and 3 more territories to go, You see what I'm saying? There's nothing there. So you're going to rebuild the entire grid of the nation to make it 3 times as strong to support the electricity. Never mind getting electricity so everybody has an electric car. Because some areas, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, hell, parts of northern BC are vast with nothing. Mountainous ranges and nothing but flat land in between. And you're going to rebuild the grid so everybody has to have an electric car. So what do you do if you're at the top of the hill in a traffic jam and your battery dies? What do? You can't have extra battery in the back. They're too heavy. Are you going to have a gas generator with you?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
You see what the problem is? If you want to have an electric car and you live in Toronto or the city I live in or a very populous city, go ahead. For the other 80% of the country, it doesn't work. All right, that's the end of today's video. I was going to go back. I'm not going back. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you voted for Trudeau. Tell me if you voted for Trudeau, this is all your goddamn fault. Tell me you voted NDP. Tell me you voted Green. Tell me if you voted Conservative. Tell me you voted the purple one. Tell me what you vote. Yeah, Americans, we have like 15 parties. Choices matter more than dipping sauces at McDonald's. I'm out.